Hello and welcome to Joshua's Library. Today we're going to be talking about the Star Wars Canon Challenge. We have quite a few new members to joining the Star Wars Canon Challenge in the past week, and we're almost at 2,000 people, which is insane. We have 49 states and 21 countries, or 22 countries represented, and we just secured our 5th independent bookstore, and it is continuing to grow, which is amazing. But I wanted to stop by, and I wanted to explain a little bit more about what the Star Wars Canon Challenge is, especially if you're just now joining. So the Star Wars Canon Challenge is a challenge to read all of the new canon material. That means essentially everything that's been produced or published or have come out since 2014 up until now and in the future. Because pre-2014 we had what's called the Legends Canon, which is an amazing slew of books. There's over like 160 books. It's a lot. And they're really good. But when Disney took over, they basically said, okay, we're done with that. We're going to restart the canon because they wanted to build it from the ground up. They wanted it to be their own, which I understand. And there are some amazing books in the new Disney canon. Ones that we've already read. My personal favorite so far is Dooku Jedi Lost. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Little off topic. Okay, going back. So, the Star Wars Canon Challenge is basically we are going to be reading every book that has been published since 2014 this way. And I'm making sure that it is canon because some Star Wars books that have been published since 2014 this way are not technically canon. In addition to that, we also have comics, we have graphic novels, we have movies, TV shows, animated TV shows, video games, the novels. We're reading the adult novels, young adult novels, junior novels. So there's a lot of material to cover. You get to choose and decide how you want to do this challenge, whether you want to make it a little bit easier and just read the novels. That's up to you. If you want to go for the full challenge and do the novels, the comics, and the whole everything, you're more than welcome to. That's what I'm personally trying to do. And so we did start this challenge back in January. We started, I believe it was January 3rd or 5th. It was the first Monday of January is when we started. And we started with Dooku Jedi Lost. And then we went to Master and Apprentice and so on. There are a lot of people that have been joining recently and are asking where they should start. So my advice to you, if you're just now joining the Star Wars Canon Challenge, or if you're very new, or if you're really behind, one of the things I would suggest is starting with the High Republic novels. We are going to be starting in the official reading schedule. We'll be starting those books this coming Friday, which is February 5th. So if you're just starting, I would hop on and start with those. You could even start now and get ahead. And the reason for that is the farthest back in the timeline that the canon is. That is 232 years before the Battle of Yavin. Whereas Dooku Jedi Lost by Cavan Scott is only 90 years before the Battle of Yavin. And the whole purpose of this reading schedule is to read it in the timeline order. And so if you start all the way at the High Republic, you're starting at the farthest back it goes. And then after you read the 3 books in the High Republic era, you can go and restart to Dooku. Or if you don't feel like going all the way back, you can just jump on where we're at. So after, can't think off the top of my head what it is, but basically if you look at the reading schedule, Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising, that's what we're reading next. So after the High Republic era, we're reading Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising by Timothy Zahn. And so you can just jump on into there after the High Republic books, or you can go back and start at the beginning and then continue and catch up. It's completely up to what you do, or would like to do. There is also no judgment, and so if you fall behind, if you're still on Dooku and you started reading it in December, that's okay. Everybody reads at their own pace. The main thing is, wow, my voice cracked. The main thing is to be able to read it together and talk about it together and have motivation from so many people. I mean, we're almost at 2,000 people. And so we're held accountable a little bit more than if we were just reading these books on our own. And so, that being said, if you don't own the books, and I know I've gotten several questions as far as like, well, where can I buy the books, or I can't afford these books, how do you expect me to participate in this challenge? First of all, you don't have to have money to participate in this challenge. Go to your local library. Most public libraries will have at least some of the Star Wars books. And if they don't, they can always request it from a different library in that district and have it sent over so you can read it. You can also download an app called Libby. Libby is connected to the public library system, and it allows access to audiobooks and to ebooks. And so you can request both of those. All of that is free of charge. I think some might have like a small payment. I'm not entirely sure as far as like your local public library. If you're in school, you have your school library. So there's a lot of ways you can read these books without having to pay. If you are looking to purchase them, however, we have independent bookstore sponsors. So instead of buying them from Amazon or other large retailers, you can support small, independent, local bookstores. And so I have partnered with a bookstore up in Seaside, Oregon called Beach Books. I have partnered with one called Print and Page Booksellers, which is in Riverside, California. I've partnered with The Last Bookstore, which is in Los Angeles, California. And I have two other bookstores. One I recently announced the name, but I'm not going to announce it here just yet because I want to do a big reveal this coming weekend because it's going to be amazing. So we do have bookstore sponsors. What it means when there's a bookstore sponsor, I've had this question. I do not get paid. I do not get anything from having these bookstores sponsor this event. This is strictly because I want to give back to the book publishing industry, and I want to give back specifically to independent bookstores. And this is a way I feel that I can. So what it means is that these bookstores are offering 10, 15, 20, 25% off of select titles. So if you order from Beach Books, you can order Thrawn, Ascendancy, Chaos Rising. If you want to order some of the ones that we just read, Master and Apprentice, Queen's Peril, those ones you can get from them at 15% off. Print and Page has the High Republic. So the High Republic, Light of the Jedi, A Test of Courage, Into the Dark, also Queen's Shadow. Those 4 books you can get from them 15% off using the code word Canon. You can order from The Last Bookstore, and you can order this book right here, Stories of Light and Dark. It's an anthology. You can also order Dark Disciple and Ahsoka. You'll get 20% off from ordering from them using the code word Canon upon checkout. And I'll be announcing more as we go. I'm going to be announcing where you can buy the next set of books at least 2 months in advance. And that way you'll have a good enough time for you to receive the books. If a new book is getting released, we will not be reading that new book until roughly 2 to 4 weeks, more towards 4 weeks after it's published. That way it gives everybody enough time to get the book. Also, I'm going to be reevaluating that just because I know in certain countries and certain areas where we have a lot of people participating in this challenge, a book might not be available yet. And so I want to ensure that it's released everywhere or as much as we can without pushing it off more than 2 months. And then that way we can all read it together. And if not, if you live in a country where unfortunately a book has not been published or released yet, then you'll probably just have to move on to the next one, read ahead, and then go back once that book is published. So I think that answers most of the questions that I've gotten about the Star Wars Canon Challenge. I do want to mention I do have merch. So I started an Etsy store, which is really cool. I'm hoping to expand it more than just Star Wars as well, so we'll have different fandoms. So if you guys want to see anything in specific, let me know, and I can look into making some merch for that fandom or specific items or what have you. So just a quick reminder, as far as if you're just joining, I would say start with The Light of the Jedi. We're beginning this Friday, and I'll show you which books we're going to be reading. So the first book we're going to be reading, it doesn't have the title on it because I have the out of print edition, but here's the title. There we go, Light of the Jedi. It's by Charles Soule. And then after that book, we have A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland. And after Justina Ireland's book, we have Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. Into the Dark was just released 2 days ago, which is awesome. You can also read the High Republic comic series. There's also the High Republic Adventure comic series. It's a monthly issue. The first one in the High Republic came out in January. The second one came out today. The first one in the High Republic Adventures came out today. And so that's another thing. The comics, I'm trying to give you specific details as far as like which issues, which graphic novels, but it is a lot of information, and so I'm going as quickly as I can. If you want to download a pamphlet that has the entire reading schedule, there might be a couple things that are incorrect on there, but nothing will be incorrect for more than 3 months. You can. If you go to my Instagram or my TikTok, I can probably figure out how to post a link on YouTube too, but my Instagram is joshuas.space, and TikTok is joshuas_space. Click the link in my bio, and it'll have a drop down. You can download the pamphlet. It has the complete reading schedule. It will be updated. I know I'm missing a couple books on there that are getting released later this year. Everything in January, February, March, and April, and I believe May as well, are all completely accurate. I don't think there will be any changes There might be one change in May. Other than that, nothing. And so I'll be working on it in March to make sure it's confirmed for May, June, July. And then I'll kind of be going every 3 months. And I'm going to try and make sure, just because Disney is continuing to announce more books. So once I finished, and I was like, okay, it's the official reading schedule. I finished it. It took forever, by the way. Disney was like, okay, we're going to announce the rest of the books we have for this year. Yay! And so then it made the reading schedule obsolete a little bit because there's a couple things missing. So that needs to be addressed, and it will be addressed. It will most likely be addressed later in the month, and so don't worry. And of course, it's going to continue to update because this challenge is not going to end until February of next year, because each book we're getting roughly 5 to 8 days to read each book, depending on the length of the book. And again, the books include adult, junior, young adult. And you can read the comics, you can read the graphic novels. The other one that you can do, I'm going to be making sure to start putting that on the reading schedule because I realize that I don't have it, is the novelizations of the books. So, like, episode 1 has a novelization. I just finished it. It's really good. I mean, of course, it's mainly you're just reading what happens in the movie, but you're getting a little bit more perspective, which is kind of nice. So you can also do that. So you can make this as easy or as complicated as you want. But yeah, the main thing is just to have fun and to meet lots of people and to connect with fellow Star Wars fans. And whether you've been a fan for a day, a month, a week, 30 years, since the beginning when it first came out in the 70s, whenever you were first introduced to Star Wars, that is amazing. And I think that's the nice thing about this challenge is it's brought so many people, from people that were just exposed through watching The Mandalorian, or people that have been fans for forever, and we're all together and we're all talking about Star Wars, and it's awesome. And so if you have not yet joined the Star Wars Canon Challenge and you would like to join the Star Wars Canon Challenge, we have a Discord server. That is, of course, the title, Star Wars Canon Challenge, and that you can join the Discord server. We're discussing each book in that server. Of course, we have a whole list of other topics that we can discuss in different threads, including the Cantina, where we just talk about whatever. So we'd love to have you if you haven't joined. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And I am trying to get the videos done as quickly as I can to talk about each book. I know it's taking a little longer than I thought, and I apologize, but I will hopefully get the videos finished and posted sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.